Tell us about this new investment you're making in Spin.
Oh, great. It's great to be here, David. Thank you for having me. We're very excited about this investment in Spin. It's a 2-year-old dockless electric scooter company, and they are in 13 cities around the U.S., 6 cities and campuses, and we're so excited about it. We really believe that the customer has spoken. The data shows that as well. There's 240,000 scooter rides daily, and that generates about $1 million of revenue daily. And we're so excited to be part of it. The first and last mile problem is real in urban settings and challenges on campuses too, and we think scooters very uniquely address that problem. The battery electric piece addresses pollution, and the fact that the scooters are dockless addresses parking and congestion problems too.
So give us a sense of what saturation is. I mean, if you're in, you said 13 cities and you have 240,000 rides, what's the size of the market as far as you can tell?
The size of the market is actually millions and millions of rides. They have, scooters in general have, even in a shorter amount of time, surpassed the ride-hailing market in a very, very short amount of time. So if you compare the growth to the Ubers or the Lyfts, scooters have really taken that whole market by storm as far as number of rides, et cetera. We are continuing to plan to grow, and over about an 18-month period, we plan to go to over 100 cities.
What are the regulatory issues? Because you need approval, I assume, from the various cities where you go. You have approval, as you said, in 13 cities. I think some people maybe have resisted it.
That's a really great question, because it's one of the things we uniquely like about Spin. You do need permits in cities, and one of the things Spin has done to really differentiate itself is to really work closely in partnership with cities. So make sure that they have permission before they set up shop in a city, create the win-win with the city. We, in my mobility team, we have a city solutions group, and there's such a nice marriage between how Spin approaches a city and the relationships we've established, and we know that working together we can help them scale more quickly and in a way that works with the city, and also putting customers first. It's one of the reasons we selected Spin to be part of the Ford family, is that their values closely mirrored ours, which is trust, integrity, and creating these win-win solutions for the cities.
So as I said, this is a part of what you see for the future, but it's certainly not all of what Ford sees for the future. Explain how this so-called micromobility fits into the larger package, the things like autonomous vehicles that we spend a lot of time talking about. How does it fit into that larger strategy that you're pursuing?
So that's a great question. So let me talk a little bit about our strategy overall, then I'll pivot to the AV piece of it, which is just really a continuation of the same strategy. We believe in the power of choice for our customers. And so if you think about what we have today in our portfolio, you can buy or lease some of our great vehicles, our F-Series vehicles, commercial vehicles, and all kinds of other vehicles, performance vehicles, obviously, we're into as well. And through our Canvas product, you can also have access to a vehicle without having to go through ownership. As you mentioned, we're into AVs, we're into EVs. We've got our Chariot product, which is a ride-sharing product, and now scooters helping round that out. We also have a Go Ride Health product as well, a non-emergency medical transport. What this provides is a suite of solutions that give customers choice, and it might be that they need something that's very affordable, which the Spin product provides. So it's about $1 a ride, 15 cents a mile, so very affordable in the city solutions. And it also provides choice. So, for example, my husband's an F-150 Raptor customer. He loves it because he tows. Right. But in the city, when we visit our son in New York City, the scooter may be the perfect solution. So we believe really a portfolio provides affordability options, but also the power of choice depending on the situation.
So let me ask the question that will be on a lot of people's minds when it comes to Ford and autonomous vehicles mobility generally. It's generally thought that you're kind of in number 2 position or so right now, that you're behind General Motors. And your CEO, Jim Hackett, has said, you know, you're number 2. How do you catch up and get to be number 1?
So that's a great question. I don't think that being number 1 or 2 at this point in time dictates who, quote unquote, wins. First of all, we believe there's going to be probably 2 or 3 winners that emerge from the race that's going on right now. And we are approaching it a bit differently. And how we're approaching it differently is this. Number 1, we are working on how we form businesses to create revenue opportunities from AVs alongside of developing the SDS, or the self-driving system, or the tech.
Right.
Why that's important is this. The two will inform each other. So as you create businesses, we just announced we're going to Washington, D.C. We'll be partnering with businesses there to learn how we might create revenue from these autonomous vehicles. As you discover ways that you're going to do that, you can use that to inform the technology and get your self-driving system fine-tuned, and vice versa. Additionally, we're taking a human-centered approach, something Jim Hackett has brought to the company. So in partnership with Domino's, for example, we learned a lot about how people even approach an autonomous vehicle. What do you need outside the vehicle so people can interact with it?
Marcy, one last quick one. Can you do it on your own? Do you need Volkswagen? They're having a board meeting coming up right now. Do you expect Volkswagen will do some investing with you the way GM got Honda?
Well, we don't really comment on speculation right now, but what I will tell you is this. We know we're very differentiated by focusing on creating businesses. The SDS pieces of it will be commoditized over time, and how we're focused on the high-value pieces will ensure that Ford is one of the few that's left standing in the end of this race. We're super confident about that. Our work with Spin helps us work with cities to figure out how we do better with getting permits, how we work with them. When you get into the world of autonomy, that's so important, and this helps us pave the way to that now.